Kim, good to see you. I really like today's topic. Happy retired couples are also financially healthy. Long before you leave the workforce, talk with your partner about what each of you wants to do, where you want to live, and what you want to spend in retirement. So today we're taking a closer look at the specific topics that successful couples asked one another in order to become successful and happy retirees. And first, you say discuss retirement expectations long before you retire.
Yes. I love this topic too. I think it's great. And I think it's too often overlooked. So they say that the key to a good marriage is communication, and this is too often not communicated. So first off, I think it's important to discuss the non-financial elements, like that transition from work life to retirement is such a big transition. So how are
Mhm.
you going to spend your time together? What things are you going to do together? What things are you going to do separately? You might have two different visions of what your future looks like. So it's so important to align those and make sure that you are on the same page. And it just makes for a very much a smoother transition into retirement.
Mhm.
Especially, I have some clients who maybe one spouse was working in the home and one spouse was outside the home, and now you have both spouses together again, and it's just a big transition. So it's important to set those parameters again, get on the same page.
Mhm. I heard you with some suggested questions in there. What will you do together? What will you do separately? Are there any other questions you'd suggest just to get the ball rolling?
What activities do you foresee doing together separately, or just interests that you have? And then you can even divvy those up. Like, this was one we want to do together. This is one I'm not interested, but you're interested, and we'll split those out and do separately.
Mhm.
Just any of those type of questions that you can come up with together and answer together as a couple is going to give you better chance of success in the future.
Mhm. And of course, regularly discuss current and future income and spending together. Studies show that couples with long-term financial happiness have joint financial discussions.
Yes. And this is going to, again, help with that smoother transition, especially because, typically speaking, one spouse is kind of leading the charge as far as finances are concerned, and the other spouse might have other duties, but eventually, that other spouse might be in charge of those financial duties. So it's important to get on the same page there. And again, make sure that your expectations are aligned.
Mhm.
One of the things being, what are you going to spend in retirement? A lot of couples aren't very clear on that, or they might hear little tidbits in the news. Like, I heard that we only need 80% of what we were working with as income in retirement. What we see is that most people want to keep that same baseline that they were used to spending during their earning career into retirement. So it's good to get,
Mhm.
again, on the same page there. All the other things that you're hoping and wanting to do in retirement, like vacationing and hobbies and all those things, because we all know that those things cost money. And so again, if you discuss those things and have a good game plan ahead of time, that's just going to make for a much more successful transition into
Right.
retirement and really help you back into, okay, what do we need to have saved in order to achieve this lifestyle that we're both hoping to pursue in retirement?
Mhm. And then third, you say acknowledge differing needs and wants. That's good for any marriage, anytime.
Yes, it's all about negotiating, right? And so
Mhm.
understanding what needs are important to one spouse that might not be important to the other spouse. And then, of course, it's always just a matter of compromising so that, again, you both can be happy as you enter that retirement space. So, again, these aren't always the smoothest of conversations, because you might each have passions that aren't necessarily important to the other spouse, but by talking through it and communicating, again, that's going to set you up for a much happier and fruitful retirement.
Mhm. The sooner the better. Kim, if somebody would like to maybe walk through these questions with you with their spouse or partner next to them, what's the best way to reach you?
Best way is just to go out to our website, www.young-wm.com. You'll find all of our contact information in there, and then you can reach out to us, and we'd be happy to set up a chat and work through that stuff with you.
All right. Kim, thank you.
Thanks.